Lesson 3. Actions we perform in the human body determine our future bodies. So, this vast universe is filled with untold billions of eternally living spiritual souls or sparks of life, and all of them are transmigrating from one body to the next. From the tiny one celled amoeba to the great blue whale, all living organisms consist of two basic components, the material body and the spirit soul. The material body is a lifeless yet complex arrangement of physical elements, and the spiritual soul is a spark of life, a spark of supreme life, God. Though only 1/10,000th the tip of a hair in size, the soul animates one body after another in its evolutionary course. The soul transmigrates from one species to another. In some species, he remains only a few seconds, in others for as long as several thousands of years. When a particular body is no longer fit for habitation, the soul leaves it and enters a seed, egg, or womb to begin developing his next body. So, does the soul's transmigration from body to body take place randomly, or does some higher authority supervises it? So, in one lifetime, the spiritual soul may enjoy as a lusty rogue, and in the next lifetime, he may be kicked as a street dog. What determines a particular soul's next body? So, according to Bhagavad Gita, each soul receives punishment or reward for the sinful or pious acts he performs during his human lifetime. This is known as the law of karma. Every act a human being performs is either in accord with or contrary to the universal laws that God gives in the revealed scriptures. God's scriptural laws govern only those souls who are in the human form because, unlike the dull creatures in the lower species, the human being has sufficient intelligence to freely obey or reject the Lord's scriptural instructions. However, along with that freedom comes accountability. Thus, a sinful soul, one who breaks God's laws, may be born as a dog in his next life. A pious soul may take his next birth as an aristocrat, and a self realized soul may break free from the bonds of karma altogether and enter into the deathless spiritual world. The Bhagavad Gita further explains that a living soul receives a particular kind of body according to his particular desires. The subtle body which accompanies the soul during the transitional state between death and rebirth contains a record of all his thoughts, desires, and activities, and these determine the kind of gross body the living entity will inhabit in his next life. When you go to a clothes shop, you find varieties of clothes, shirts, suits, pants, jeans, etc. Similarly, there are 8.4 billion species for us to choose. We may acquire any of them to fulfill our desires. Even among human beings, there are so many varieties asuras, civilized, devas, etc. Krishna is capable of fulfilling every living entity's desire. Mental activities or psychological activities of thinking, feeling, and willing are also activities on the platform of ethereal existence. That subtle forms exist in the ether has been proven by modern science by transmission of television, by which forms photographs of one place are transmitted to another place by the action of the ethereal element. Within the Srimad Bhagavatam is the potential basis of great scientific research work, for it explains how subtle forms are generated from the ethereal element, how the tangible elements, namely air, fire, water, and air, are manifested from the subtle form. Mental existence transforms into tangible form as soon as there is an opportunity. So the soul, being carried by the subtle body, occupies a room, depending on the unfulfilled desires stored in the subtle body. Think of any desire. Do you know someone who likes to sleep a lot? So the nature can award him a polar bear's body so that he can peacefully sleep for 6 months in a year without being ridiculed by his friends or scolded by his parents. So do you know someone who likes to eat flesh and drink blood? Nature will say, okay, come on, take the body of a tiger or lion and eat flesh the natural way. So do you know someone who likes to be in water always and keep swimming? Some swimmers are mad, They want to swim from the Park Street to the English Channel. So the nature will say, come on, take the body of a fish and swim to your heart's content. Some people don't want to wear proper clothes on their body. They want to expose major part of their body and draw the attention of the opposite sex. Nature says, okay, take the body of a tree and stand naked to your heart's content in all the seasons. So in this way, each species represents a different base of enjoyment. So these are allotted to the living entities based on their desires. So we may think of the body either as the soul's vehicle for expressing his material desires or as the end result of good or bad acts the soul performed in his last human birth. Both concepts are correct. But in either case, we see that there must be a witness and controller who fulfills the particular desires of each spiritual soul and who rewards or punishes each soul as it deserves. That witness, controller, and judge is the super soul. Thank you.